Hi, I'm back. Uh, yeah. Hello. It's been a while. Um, but we are in August, and I said that I would be back for August. So here I am. It has been um, an interesting past 2 weeks, or 2 weeks, like yeah, just over 2 weeks. Um, yeah, it's been an interesting time since I last uploaded a video. Quite a few things have happened, and I just had to remind myself of those things before I began started this recording. Um, because yeah, as I've mentioned before, my memory is not great. So I just had to remind myself. But yeah, whew, it's been good. Um, I mentioned this in the post that I made a week after my final upload. So I wrote up a post and I shared it and said a few things. Um, the the routine that I got myself into um, for recording an audio log every day, I didn't realize how much of an impact it actually was making on me and on my day to day life. Um, it was strange not to upload something the day after. Um, and in the following week or so, I noticed that I wasn't able to fill my time very well. Like I was struggling to find things to do, and also honestly I was struggling like mentally as well. I suppose in a way these audio logs have been um, a method of releasing weight off of my shoulders, so to speak, and like getting my thoughts out there into the open. I wasn't doing that, um, and I think it began to build up, and I started noticing the effects of that. Um, I yeah, I wouldn't say I got like super like anything. Like I didn't feel one way in particular very strongly, but it was just kind of like a gradual build up of what do I do now, sort of thing. Um, yeah, it was weird, but I it kind of died down, and um, this past week has been pretty fun actually. I'll talk a bit more about that later, but yeah. So um, I also mentioned in that post that I wrote up that I came across a YouTube channel. It was a YouTube channel created by, I'm assuming, a Korean lady. She, I think she's a native Korean. She makes videos where she just talks about specific things um, in Korea, like how they work over there, like the differences between one thing or another thing. Like she does a lot of interesting things, and her videos are well, she speaks entirely in Korean. I believe she does have subtitles, but I chose not to turn them on because I felt that listening to her and watching her as she spoke was more beneficial to me. So unfortunately, I had no idea what she was talking about. I picked up a few words here and there, but overall, like the message of the video, the content of the video was lost on me. But that was my decision. Um, I'm sure, she makes complete sense in the language that she's speaking. Just to me, someone who doesn't necessarily know that much of it yet, it was, mostly lost on me. But great videos. I recommend them even if you just want to, I don't know. They're fun. They're, they're good. There's also another thing about her as well. And I wasn't sure if I was going to mention this or not, but it came up in my mind so often that I just, why not? I'm here now. Um, she is, in my opinion, quite an attractive person, and I found myself not paying attention to what she was saying and instead admiring her, which sounds really cheesy, but she's a very pretty person, and I don't know. That's just what happened. I can't explain it better than that. That's just how it was. So there's also, there's also that as well. Another reason to watch her, but her videos are like, her content is really fun. Talks about like the different. Well, she has a bunch of different videos, but like she has a video where she talks about the differences between formal and informal language. I haven't watched that one yet. She talks about like the seasons and how the seasons are in South Korea. Just really interesting things, like a unique insight from someone who lives in the country. So definitely recommend her channel. I will. I suppose I could link it in the description. But yeah. So I found her, watched a bunch of her videos. That kept me going for a while. Kept me occupied. And then after that, I don't really know what I did next. Last week, I don't know. I remember a few things, like I was hanging out with friends, like a little bit. I was basically just doing my usual things of like playing video games, that sort of stuff. Just kind of relaxing, waiting until September. But this week, since Monday, today is now Thursday, I went away to go visit family. I travelled down with my mother and my sister, although my sister chose to drive. Now that is something that happened last week. My sister passed her driving test first try. That was last Wednesday, and ever since then she has spent more time in her car driving around than I think she has spent at home. I don't think I can blame her for that, because I can see, how that would make you feel. Like, you pass your driving test, you have unlimited freedom at that point, right? You can drive anywhere you wish. And I think that's pretty much what she's been doing, because, like I said, she's spent more time out the house than she has in the house. And, despite only passing her test last Wednesday, she wanted to drive down to visit the family on Monday in her own car. It is a roughly 3 hour journey, which here in the UK, a 3 hour journey is like fairly significant, it's not, we don't live in a big country. The UK is not that big, so 3 hours in any direction, or maybe not any direction depending on where you live, but like up or down 3 hours is it's significant. It's a lot of driving, but my sister insisted that she drive herself, and so she did. Um, and she made it safe and sound, albeit 2.5 hours late, but she made it nonetheless. Um, so yeah, we went down together to go visit my grandma, and also other family that showed up um, later on in the week. But yeah, we travelled down Monday and have spent the past few days down there um, with, spending time with my grandma and stuff like that. It was very nice. She lives in a quaint little village down by the seaside called Milford on Sea, and it is a haven for holidaymakers, tourists, um, people with a lot of money. Like it's a small village right on the coast of the southern coast of England. It is it is it's quite nice down there. I'll admit it is quite nice. Um, yeah, it's she lives just like a 5 minute walk away from the coast, from the seaside. So I spent a lot of time just walking around. It's a very quiet village, despite the the popularity of holidaymakers and stuff like that. Um, yeah, it's very quiet. You can pretty much go anywhere at any time of day. Um, it's a very safe place to be. Um, yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. Um, so yeah, I spent a lot of time walking around. Also, by the way, um, we timed our visit. I don't think we did it on purpose, but when we went to go down to visit, um, we were struck with another heat wave here in the UK. So the past couple of days have been some of the hottest days that we've experienced so far this year, which really kind of amplified the amount of people that went to the beach because, it's a beach, it's nice weather. We don't, that's not usually things that you associate with the UK, you know? So yeah, it was quite busy on, I think, Tuesday. Um, but really nice, really nice. Um, Walked around a bunch, like I mentioned. On, I think it was not yesterday, not the day. Was it the day before? Was it also Tuesday? It might have also been Tuesday. Tuesday or Wednesday. I walked around so much. I ended up accumulating like 20,000 steps on that day, which is equivalent to like 15 kilometers. Um, and it's not a big village, but it's there's a lot of space to walk along the coast, and like there are different like passages that you can take, and like it's really nice. It's really nice. We had beautiful weather, so yeah, we had a lovely time, and I think my grandma appreciated the company because she isn't in the best of health. And I think I might have mentioned this in one of my audio logs a while ago. But uh, she's not doing very well. She's currently going through stage 4 cancer. Um, so she's getting regular treatment, and it's, yeah, she probably doesn't have much longer to go. So we as a family are trying to spend as much time with her as possible. I mean, this year alone, I have travelled down to where she lives 3 times. I went in January when I got COVID. I went in March for the reschedule that we did because of the COVID in January, and then went this week. It's unlikely that I will go again this year, especially because, I'm going to university soon. Um, but I've been down 3 times, which is more times than I would normally go. Like before this year, I I don't remember the last time I went. So yeah, uh, we're just spending time with her. Um, she enjoys the company. She enjoys fussing over people as well. Like um, she so today before we left to come home, uh, we visited like a small art gallery that was going on, um, and we were walking around the art gallery, and she kept asking me if there was any pieces of art that I liked, and I wasn't really sure because art isn't necessarily my thing, but I just went along because I had to say goodbye to her, right? Um, so I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like looking at the different pieces of artwork, but collecting art is not really something that I am interested in. But she kept asking me like, "Oh, do you like this or do you like that?" Or, "Oh, this is nice, isn't it? Oh, come over here, Cameron. Look at this," sort of thing. And she kept asking me like, "Oh, do you like this?" But she was trying to see like if I said yes to any of them, she would have bought it for me, because it was like it was a small local art gallery sort of thing. So like local artists can um, they can submit their artwork, I guess, and it's not just like a gallery. Like you can buy the pieces of artwork if you have the money for it. Some of them were quite expensive, but yeah, she was basically just asking me like, "Do you like any of them?" Because I want to buy something for you. But I wasn't really sure, like I said, and uh, just before we left, she came up to me and she's like, "Oh, hey, look, I found this," and she just handed it to me. It was like a small, like postcard sort of thing with a print of artwork on it. Um, it wasn't a piece of artwork that I said that I particularly liked. I do like it, but it's not one that I like pointed out and said, "Oh, this is nice," sort of thing. But she would have refused to leave without getting me something, you know. So she's that sort of person. I feel like she's your typical um, grandma who's just like uh, she's she just wants to look after you, sort of thing, So it was nice to spend some time with her. We, as a family, like we met up with some other members of our family, and we all went out to dinner last night. I went to an Italian restaurant. My brother was there. Um, one of my aunts and one of my uncles and their kids were there. So yeah, that was nice as well. It was nice to catch up with them. So yeah, overall, I had a really nice time. If honestly, it felt like I was on holiday, um, which I couldn't tell you the last time I went on holiday, like a genuine holiday. I don't know when the last time was. So this felt like a holiday. It's nice weather, nice location, nice company. What more can you ask for? So, yeah, good times. It was a good time. Um, what else, man? There was so much more I wanted to talk about, and now that I have focused so much on my trip this week, I have forgotten the other things. Oh, that's right. Okay, so not last week, but I think the week before. pretty sure I mentioned it in the written post that I made. I received an update. Well, not really an update. I received some information from my university. Um, Basically, just the time that I can go collect my keys to my accommodation when I move in. So moving in on the 17th of September, so not that far away now. And yeah, I've been given a time and a place where I can go pick up my keys. And yeah, that's quite exciting. It's like another step forward, you know. It's like, oh, this is actually happening. Like it's starting to finally um what's the I don't know how to say it now. I've forgotten how to say what I was trying to say. Um like that's right. The reality of the situation, the reality of me moving out and going to university, it's finally setting in, you know. The past couple of months have been a lot of waiting, receiving updates in the posts, in the post, in the mail, and things like that. And like, sure, I've like been out and bought things and like, you know, whatever, prepared for when I move out, but it hasn't really felt like anything has happened, you know? Like no real steps have been made towards actually going. But I think the week before I move out, when I start unpacking, like packing up my things here and putting them into like boxes or things, like once I start moving things out of my room, I think that's when it's gonna like actually like that's when I'm gonna realize it, you know. At the moment, it doesn't feel like that. It's getting close. Like it's just over a month away now, but yeah, it doesn't feel like it's real yet. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, the update for the keys was nice. And speaking of university, I have made some progress towards communicating with my fellow future classmates. Um, I mentioned a while ago in my audio logs that I began the process of like talking to people, trying to reach out to people, and like start a conversation with them, get to know them a little bit before we start studying together in September. But I think I mentioned that I wasn't really getting much back. Like people weren't feeling particularly conversational. But that has changed slightly since then. Um, More people have started to initiate conversations, and I've been able to like join in with them and like you know it's been nice to actually chat to some people, specifically the people on my course that I have been trying to talk to. They have spoken up a little bit. We were active for a few days before moving on to a WhatsApp group. So now we're all like in a WhatsApp group together. We have that to chat to each other, which is nice. I've learned a few things about a couple people. I will not be the oldest person on my course, despite I'll be one of the older people, but not the oldest. I think there's one person who's 28, and I'll be 24. So yeah. A few other things like there's one guy in particular who seems like he comes across as quite a smart individual. He did A levels in like linguistics, I think, and now he's moving on to like a language course, and like he mentioned that he's had a tutor for a while, and he sounds like a very smart person. Um, and there's like some other people as well. I've met one other person on my course who is moving in on the same date as me. We're not moving into the same accommodation, um, but we'll be there on the same day, which is nice. So we've planned to meet up on that day, and there's like a welcome meeting sort of thing on that day. So we're going to go to that together. Um, yeah, and I think there's someone else as well that I've spoken to who's also going to be moving in on the same date, but we haven't like planned anything together yet. So yeah, some progress has been made. They seem like very nice people. Um, yeah, like a mix of ages, mix of because we're not all on the same course. Our course is kind of split into two. There's one course for Korean, intercultural communication and linguistics, which is the one that I'm doing. And then there's another course which is Korean TESOL, which is like teaching English to uh, or teaching English as a second language plus linguistics. So there's a slight difference, but yeah. So it's just like a mix of people. It's nice. It seems like a good group, and I'm expecting more people to show up once results day happens, because I think currently like there's some people. Well, some people have recently done some exams, and so they're waiting for their results. And I think that's happening in a few weeks' time. And once they have their results, they'll know, or they'll have a better idea of like where they want to go with their grades, sort of thing. So I'm also hoping to meet some people uh, who are moving into my accommodation after that happens as well. Because so far I haven't met anyone who will be at my accommodation, which is a little bit scary because I'm just worried that I'm going to be living with people who. See, the problem is, if I say anything now, it's going to sound like kind of bad. But like so far, everyone that I've spoken to has taken the initiative and sought to initiate conversations with people, and like they're kind of they're putting themselves out there. They are taking a step toward socializing and getting to know one another. Um, and it's the people who aren't doing that that worry me. And the fact that I haven't found anyone yet who is moving into my accommodation kind of, I mean, I can't make assumptions just yet. I think it's too soon, but um, yeah, I don't want to live with people who just don't care. I don't know if that's a fair thing to say. I don't know. I'll hold off saying anything and really meaning it until, closer to the date. But yeah, so far, no luck finding anyone in my accommodation, but hopefully that will change. Yeah, man, I've been talking for almost 30 minutes, but I felt like I needed to kind of make a bit of an update sort of thing, you know. I mentioned that the project that's happening throughout August, it's going to be a mixture of the audio log style that I was doing and also something extra. So I'm actually, once I'm done with this, I'm going to record the other video, and I will be uploading that today as well. I have it all planned out. There are specific dates when those extra videos will be coming out. And it all fits nicely together. And I'm just hoping that it's interesting enough I think it's kind of cool. Um, it's a little bit different. Like it's still me talking, but with more purpose. I don't know. I don't want to say anything. You can find out for yourself. But yeah, it's fun. It's cool. Um, it also has a bit more effort put into the editing side of things. I wanted to experiment with a new style of content and also like a new style of editing. It's all really kind of just an experiment just to see what I like and what I don't like, what I think is cool and stuff like that. So, you know, we'll just see what happens. I also have ideas for the future beyond August. I think I've already mentioned these. Um, yeah, I don't know. We'll just see what happens. But I think that's everything on my mind. Everything that I needed to say. Um, yeah, I guess thanks for listening. It's kind of a long video. Um, yeah, but I think that's me for now, for today. Um, I will go record the other one right now and be back tomorrow, I suppose. So I will see you then. Goodbye.